Hi, welcome back to another TerranScapes mini review. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Fuji Semi-Pro accessories. So this is the Fuji Semi-Pro 2 HVLP sprayer. I always got to remember that. Oh, it says it right on the handle. I've done a video reviewing this in the past, and so if you want to take a look at my playlist, and you can go back and see where I describe a little bit of the features and you know, some of my thoughts on using the Semi-Pro. But sometime after I had made that video, the company contacted me and wanted to send me a couple of accessories to use with this, and I have to say they have been quite helpful. So you know, of course these were provided to me free of charge, but this is my honest and accurate opinion on them. The first two things that they sent me was, the two things they sent me was a shorter hose. This is a 6-foot hose, and it's about the same flexibility as the stock one that comes with it, but the stock one that comes with it is a very long hose. I don't know, it's maybe 15 feet plus 20 feet, something like that. And I don't need all of that, so it was great to be able to have a shorter hose so that I don't have to deal with the coiling of all of that every time I want to use it. The hose, which comes you know, with no attachments on it, mounts to the standard threading on the sprayer motor itself, and you can unscrew the coupler that comes with the standard hose and then just screw that right onto the replacement hose, and that has worked out great, actually. So a simple accessory, but when you're working in a small location, I found it to be actually quite nice, and it's just long enough that I can still hang my spray gun where I normally do, which is actually up close to the ceiling. The second thing that they sent me was something I would never have considered, which is a remote ignition button, or remote starter, for lack of a better term. Basically, it's a radio receiving plug add-on. So basically you take the normal plug it into the radio component, the receiver component, and then plug this into whatever power source you have. It comes with a keychain toggle. What do they call these? It's a fob. And you can use the fob at your bench to turn it on or turn it off. That actually has been a nice little addition, and I think it would be an even more important addition if you were using it with the full-length hose and you had to be 20 feet away from the sprayer itself while you were working. It'd be great to have this in your pocket, be able to turn it on and off. However, it has saved me the time of bending down finding this, especially when I'm trying to hold a piece and I want to turn it off real quick. So it's been definitely functional for me. And I shot a video of me using the Fuji sprayer to spray the cliff pieces with my mixed tempera wash, basically, which I describe in the cliff video. Go back to the ocean board playlist, see the most recent video, and the most recent video as the date of this post, and you'll see me using it. I'll show you that clip right here. So I have really enjoyed this. It was something I would never have considered adding myself, and it's something worthy of consideration. Now, I do not know if they offer this on their site where they list the Semi-Pro and all their other sprayers, so it might be something to look for there, but I'm sure there are other options of a very similar device on Amazon. I can't believe there aren't 16 versions of these already on the market somewhere. So remote starter, that was a nice addition as well. The two things that I got for myself are really more like one thing that that you just have to buy two parts for. Basically, I got a paint filter stand. When I have been using my paints, the paints are old. When I shake them, dried paint gets mixed into them, and obviously you don't want dried paint getting into your sprayer. It's going to clog the nozzle, yada yada. So I picked up a pack of, I don't know, 100 of these paint strainers. They have a pretty fine grade mesh, and I bought a strainer holder. So basically, then you can put your sprayer underneath it and then pour your paint in. It'll drain right into your cup, and then you'll be able to have, you know, paint that isn't full of clogging materials. So this is a real simple addition to add to this kind of a paint spraying system, and really, it's a must. I was silly not to buy it right from the get-go, and it's made this process a lot easier, because before I was using cheesecloth and making a little cup for it. Don't do that. Just spend the extra, I don't know, what was it, like $6 for 100 of these, $6 or something for the stand. I don't know the exact price, but it was somewhere around that cheap. So the stand doubles as a paint sprayer holder, and you can put the paint sprayer in, and then there is a little, if I get my hand out of the way, there's a little, you know, U-joint, whatever here, to catch the bottom of the paint spray handle and hold it in place while you are doing other things. The problem with it, of course, though, is that it is tippy because of the center of gravity. So it does come with screw holes that are designed to allow you to mount it to your bench permanently. But I find, because I don't want to take up that space, I just use a C-clamp, and I just clamp it down to the bench really securely, and that has held it just fine. So a very brief overview of these accessories, but I really wanted to take the time to mention them, not only as a thank you, of course, for being provided the hose and the plug for, you know, for review purposes. That was very nice and very helpful, but also to make sure that if you're going to get into this kind of a spraying system, really think about spending the extra. What is this? The extra probably $20, maybe $50 for all of these different parts, because it's going to make using this gun just a whole lot easier. And as a sort of quick revisit, I have been using the sprayer since my initial video, and I just want to say, every time I use this sprayer, it is a pleasure to use. It's easy to clean, it's got great control, it's got a lot of flexibility, and I've been loving it. So you know, if you're interested in doing a lot of spraying for terrain work, and you're not afraid to invest a little bit of money in something that's a step up from the typical, you know, Wagner paint sprayer, it's something worth considering. So there's the overview of the accessories for the Fuji Semi-Pro 2. So hopefully you found that short look at those accessories helpful. Again, I encourage you, if you're not familiar with the Fuji Semi-Pro 2, to take a look at my video in the review playlist, where I go over some of it and some of its features and what I was looking for and why I ended up with it. It's, you know, not the right tool for everybody, certainly, and, you know, an occasional user, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're into spraying large amounts on a regular basis, I think I've been very pleased with it. I can't really say more than that. And if you are interested or have one or a similar device to this, right, there are other models that are similar, you know, the shorter hose and the remote on-off switch, I think are super beneficial. And thank you again to Fuji for sending those to me to help me use their sprayer and to give me a chance to review them. I do appreciate that. You know, the short hose is probably not, it's weird. Those two pieces almost don't go together, right? If you're going to spray with the long hose, I would say definitely get the on-off switch, remote on-off switch. I don't know what the range on it is, but it's got to be within 20 feet. And if you are not needing the long hose, you probably don't need the switch as much as you need the short hose. So take it as you will, but I think both of them are great to have. And the must-have, of course, is the paint strainer stand and the paint strainers. I knew it, and I tried working around it for a little while, and I was like, this is dumb. I need these. And it provides you with a gun holder, should you not have a simple system to do that. Just as a quick aside, before I go too long, how do I hang my gun when I'm in the midst of spraying? I actually have a little hook hanging. Of course, picture this up a little higher here, right? I have a little hook hanging, and the gun has a little hook, and I just hang it right on that. So it's hung up right above me, and the hose goes down to the floor to the vacuum, or the, I should say, the turbine. I guess that's really what it is. And that hose is still just long enough, the short hose, to get me, to allow me to hang it up on top. And that's where I like it. It's quick, it's easy. And when I decouple it from the hose and I put everything away, I just leave the gun hung up there, the cap unscrewed so it doesn't get all, rusty or anything inside. And that system has worked really well. So it's easy to make that system work for you, even in a tight space, because I guarantee you what I have is a tight space. So if you have any questions or comments about any of these items, feel free to leave those down below. I love seeing all the comments. I read every single one of them. I try to respond to almost all of them, 99% maybe. And if you have a question that's unrelated to these, of course, it's still open to to add your comments away down below. And I forget to always mention this, but don't forget to look in the comments. It's a resource all on its own. I get so many positive comments back from viewers who have experience, maybe tips, tricks, questions they ask that I answer that might be similar to your question. So don't be afraid to skim through those, at least some of the ones where I've gone back and forth with somebody, because I think you might find something useful there as well. It's not just in the video. It's all about the community, right? We're all a community, and I really value that. So hopefully you will be coming back. I have more content coming, lots and lots of it, getting a better system for how to shoot. Hopefully it's going to make things easier. I think it's going to. So when you come back, I'll be happy to see you, because I'll be back soon with another TerranScapes video.